Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and obviously with everything else going on, I have not covered the current election and what is very obviously the establishment Democratic move to try to once again steal the nomination from Bernie Sanders right in front of your face, from Pete Bootlicker and Amy Klobuchar dropping out the same day, putting their weight behind a man who is visibly senile. And I've been calling him visibly senile for, I want to say, the better part of 6 months. You'd have to go through my Twitter feed. But every time I see him, he can't get out a sentence. It's happening before us. I've talked about this with Scott Ledger on Dangerous Conversation. This is a reality. Now, we're only going to just play some of these videos. But before we even get there, to the spots where you're seeing him say things that are, clearly he's going senile, okay, clearly. When he says things like this, okay, Joe Biden says poor kids are just as bright as white kids, and then he goes, and black kids and Chinese kids. He can't, look at him. He's an elderly man whose mind is going, but he's always been a piece of establishment trash. Let's not forget that this guy was, a guy who took money from and lobbied for segregation. He is that guy. Make no mistake about it. I've already played him praising Bill Barr when he was becoming the first attorney general under George H.W. Bush, and they didn't even take a vote. Go watch my Bill Barr deep dive if you want to learn about Joey B. You want to learn about Joey B. and his role to play in the 9/11 cover-up and Pakistan's role. It's in my film Fabled Enemies from 2008. This guy cannot win. All right, if they rig it for him, then again, he really can't beat Bernie Sanders in a fair fight. If they somehow rig the nomination for Joe Biden, which it appears everything they're going to do. Bloomberg suspends his campaign today. That's it for him. He was unlikable throughout the whole thing. The main point was to get Tulsi Gabbard off the stage, number one, and number two, manage the Bernie Sanders situation that everybody saw happening. And by the way, I don't believe that Biden won, legitimately in South Carolina before Super Tuesday. The game is rigged, folks, and it has been for a long time. Go look into Diebold. Go look into these voting machines. It's disgusting. It's abhorrent. I also want to point out, and this is in my film Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, that this guy is a globalist. He is as establishment as it gets. Go read this. How I Learned to Love the New World Order by Joey B. himself. All right? And now I want to get to, I'm hoping that, which one are we going to get to first? Before we get to this whole thread. Now, this is a thread of just some of the most senile comments you could ever imagine by Joe Biden. We're going to play them. Thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share, guys. All right? Let's pause that because that's going to be the first one because he just rants there. All right, but here, let's talk about Tulsi Gabbard and why she's important. Because Joe Biden, as senile as he is right now, is never going to tell you this on a debate stage, okay?
Was that our biggest problem is our allies. Our allies in the region were our largest problem in Syria. The Turks were great friends, and I have a great relationship with Erdogan, which I just spent a lot of time with. The Saudis, the Emiratis, etc. What were they doing? They were so determined to take down Assad and essentially have a proxy Sunni-Shia war. What did they do? They poured hundreds of millions of dollars and thousands of tons of weapons into anyone who would fight against Assad, except that the people who were being...
I know, guys, the audio is awful. I can't turn it up. That's as high as it goes. Sometimes this thing is just... I don't know what to tell you. Hold on. Let me see if there's anything else I can do. But he's about to tell you that Al-Qaeda is being funded by our allies and us, okay? That we're working with Al-Qaeda in Syria. Let's see. Is there anything? I doubt there is. No, that's about as high as it's going to go. Great. We might have to postpone some of this video.
Were al-Nusra and Al-Qaeda and the extremist elements of jihadis coming from other parts of the world. Now you think...
So there you go. He's never going to tell you that. Maybe this one is going to be a little bit louder, hopefully, folks.
We should challenge these students. We should challenge students in these schools to have advanced placement programs in these schools. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean it, but think how we think about it.
Yeah, no, he's not losing his mind publicly. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry on the, I get it on the louder. I mean, again, I can only do so much when it's on Twitter, so we're going to have to jump through these. But here's how snaky and what a liar Biden is back in the day, okay? Let's hopefully have this one play.
From taped remarks of Biden during an April campaign appearance in New Hampshire.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and, in fact, ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
His memory had failed him. No, he's an establishment hack that's been lying his whole career, and now he's actually losing his mind. He actually has dementia. So now, let's just play some of this stuff. Hopefully we'll play the higher volume stuff. But here he's just rambling, okay?
Our English jurisprudential culture, home, here. Well, you want me to answer the question, okay? And so I was saying that, and what they turned around and said, Joe Biden said, in effect, they said Joe Biden said that what he was what the white supremacists argue, that we have no problem. Our basic English jurisprudential system is not the problem. The problem is those countries like Africa and Asia and those places, they're the reason why we have all these problems. So they turned it around to make it sound like that. And by the way, the title...
Let me just pause this for a second. He's clearly trying to read off a script, and he can't do that. All right? So obviously, I would say that the play is to try to get him to actually have somebody they want in as the president underneath. If they think they can get him elected, it's anybody but Bernie. They really don't want Bernie Sanders. I really do think they'll challenge. And Bernie might put Tulsi as his VP just as insurance because they want Tulsi Gabbard even less. That's a promise. All right, so that's Babbledygook 1. You can watch another minute and 10 seconds of that word garbage. Now I don't like Julian Castro, but here he is actually calling him out for saying the exact opposite thing, which he did not 5 minutes before this. This is true.
They do not have to buy in.
You just said that. You just said that 2 minutes ago. You just said 2 minutes ago that they would have to buy in. You said they would have to buy in.
Have to buy in. If she qualifies for Medicaid,
are you forgetting what you said 2 minutes ago?
Are you
forgetting already what you said just 2 minutes ago?
Yes, he is.
I mean, I can't believe that you said 2 minutes ago that they had to buy in, and now you're saying they don't have to buy. You're forgetting that.
Yes, he is. All right. So here he is talking about an imaginary arrest when he was in South Africa visiting Nelson Mandela. Also never happened. All right? Notice the media is not really calling him out hardcore on any of this. And not even on either side. Like Fox News isn't pointing out that the man clearly has dementia. Okay?
This day, 30 years ago, Nelson Mandela walked out of prison and entered into discussions about apartheid. I had the great honor of meeting him. I had the great honor of being arrested with our UN ambassador on the streets of Soweto trying to get to see him on Robbins Island. This day,
that absolutely 100% never happened. The ambassador who he was with is like, no, that never happened. And here he is. By the way, here's, this should also alarm people. Here's something he was saying literally 20, 30 years ago. Because think about it, he's been the vice president since 2008. He made a run at the presidency in 2004. Senate, I believe, is 6-year terms. Here he is he's literally reciting his old speech for Senate. Give me a look. Don't vote for the other guy. And he says he's running for Senate. The man clearly has visibly lost his mind.
And you're the ones that sent Barack Obama the presidency. And I have a simple proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, vote for the other guy. Give me a look, though, okay?
Vote for the other. He actually said vote for the other guy. Like he was going to say his name again instead of guy. Vote for the other guy. Well, listen to him. He can't even get words out. He's done horribly in the debates. He talked about your baby and a record player. I did videos on that. And that's aside from all the establishment shit that he's pushed. All right? Let's be very clear. Let's go. Here's more. Here, listen to this one. He's killing it, Joe Biden.
Go to Joe 30330 and help me. Go to Joe.
He can't even get his website out. Bogus Hype, thank you for that super chat. I'm trying to keep pushing through everything that's happening. It's actually, it's been pretty difficult. So here he is. Here's the record player for the baby that I was talking about. Okay, wait till you watch that. This is unbelievable. All right, a record player? When was the last time you used a record player? Well, let's stop with a record player. We're talking about CDs were my generation 20 plus years ago. The man has lost his mind.
To you and talk to you about inequality in schools and race. In a conversation about how to deal with segregation in schools back in 1975, you told a reporter, I don't feel responsible for the sins of my father and grandfather. I feel responsible for what the situation is today, for the sins of my own generation, and I'll be damned if I feel responsible to pay for what happened 300 years ago. You said that some 40 years ago.
Yeah, let me just say that. That's when Biden had a brain, when he could get together a sentence to defend him being a pro-segregationist at times, or like we just went over in the beginning of this video. But he no longer has his marbles. So now let's see what the front runner for the Democratic Party, the one they're pushing, that they're trying to rig the election of Bernie Sanders by the Democratic Party for this presidential run, because that's 1,000% what's happening.
But as you stand here tonight, what responsibility do you think that Americans need to take to repair the legacy of slavery in our country?
Well, they have to deal with look, there is institutional segregation in this country. And from the time I got involved, I started dealing with that. Redlining, banks, making sure that we are in a position where, look, we talk about education.
So right there, he's not making, did he have a coherent point at that point? No, he didn't. He went to education after he could barely get out a sentence. Gets worse.
I propose that what we take is those very poor schools, the Title I schools, triple the amount of money we spend from $15 to $45 billion a year. Give every single teacher a raise to the equal raise of getting out the $60,000 level. Number two, make sure that we bring in to help the teachers deal with the problems that come from home.
So as you can see, he still can't get out a sentence. He still can't get out a sentence. All right, but here's where it gets, over the top cartoon level dementia.
The problems that come from home, we have one school psychologist for every 1,500 kids in America today. It's crazy. The teachers are retired. I'm married to a teacher. My deceased wife is a teacher. They have every problem coming to them. We have to make sure that every single child does, in fact, have 3, 4, and 5-year-olds go to school, not daycare, school. We bring social workers into homes of parents to help them deal with how to raise their children. It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone. Make sure the kids hear words. A kid coming from a very poor school, or a very poor background, will hear 4 million words fewer spoken.
The fact that the media didn't jump all over that there months ago, when Gabbard was still on the stage, by the way, should show you how rigged the game is. My goodness. Thumbs this video up, subscribe, share, join the Burmers Brigade. We're trying to get to 40,000. Here we go. 150 million people in the United States have been killed since 2007. by guns. What?
That has caused carnage on our streets. 150 million people have been killed since 2007 when Bernie voted to exempt the gun manufacturer.
I'll just stretch on that one. Yes, according to him, almost 50% of the United States population has been killed due to gun deaths. And not only is there obviously a shootout, high noon style, cowboy style at high noon, but literally every 10 minutes on the streets. We're keep going. This isn't it. All right. Listen, Biden forgets that Kamala. I didn't want to go there. Yes. All right. Here we go. This is where he totally forgets that. Kamala Harris, who at this point is like right next to him, and they're trying to like stage a back and forth with him and her and Biden. He totally forgets that she's like real.
I have more people supporting me in the black community that have announced for me because they know me. They know who I am. 3 former chairs of the Black Caucus. The only African-American woman that ever been elected to the United States Senate. A whole range of people.
No,
my point is
that's not true. The other one is here.
I said the first African-American elected.
No, you didn't, Joe. Joe, you can't get out a sentence. You can't get out a sentence. You don't know what's going on. You have clear signs of dementia. I was talking to somebody else about Ronald Reagan being much sharper. Ronald Reagan was really sharp in those first debates for the 1980 election. You can go to C-SPAN. You can watch those. All right. Joe Biden looks worse than Ronald Reagan when it was clear he had dementia in the throes of his presidency. Okay? Period. Let's keep going.
Well, I'm looking forward to appointing the first African-American woman to the United States Senate.
Again, he thinks he's going to appoint an African-American woman to the United States Senate. We have black women senators now, Joe, and you don't appoint them. There are elections. Can you imagine if Trump had done 1/10 of what we're going over here? We're just going. We could keep going. Let's keep going. All right. Here we go. Oh, that's the white kids one. We've done that one. They're just we choose truth over facts.
Everybody knows who Donald Trump is. Even his supporters know who he is. We got to let them know who we are. We choose unity over division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts. And so, folks,
Joey B is here to choose truth over facts. My goodness. What a thread here. What a thread. You can find this thread deep on mine. This is Biden under relatively no media pressure here. Okay, ready?
Yesterday you said you accepted Bernie's apology and now you're attacking him. Why are you doing that? Why wasn't his apology enough, Mr. Vice President? Why attack Sanders?
Why? You're getting nervous, man. Just calm down. It's okay. He apologized for saying that I was corrupt. He didn't say anything about whether or not I was telling the truth about Social Security.
Thank you, guys.
What? I didn't even bring up the Ukraine stuff that was very real, that I was glad that he and his son were being investigated for. That's one of his sharper moments. Here comes Joey Biden. He came up in the black church.
That are listening and those that have respected you but that were hurt by that, what do you say to them? I've heard your justification and you're explaining it. But you're saying to them you understand the feeling.
I do understand the feeling. Look, as you know, Rev, you know about me in Delaware. I came up in that community. I came up in the black church. I came up because that's where we got. That's where we.
I assure you, he did not. Okay, this is a good one. This is where he calls a voter fat and challenges him to a push-up contest.
We all know Trump has been messing around in Ukraine over there, holding their foreign aid or
Asking about the Ukraine situation.
saying they're going to investigate you. We don't want that. He's the president.
And no one has ever said that? No one has heard that?
I see it on the TV.
You see it on the TV. No, I know you do. And by the way, that's why I'm not sedentary. I get up and no, let him go. Let him go. Look, the reason I'm running is because I've been around a long time and I know more than most people know. And I can get things done. That's why I'm running. And you want to check my shape on it, let's do push-ups together here, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do. Let's take a nice Number two, no one has said my son has done anything wrong, and I did not on any occasion. And no one has ever said it. Not
I
one.
didn't say you were doing anything wrong.
You said I set up my son to work in an oil company.
You did.
Isn't that what you said? Get your words straight, Jack.
That's what I hear on MSNBC.
You don't hear that on MSNBC. You did not hear that at all. What you heard, look, okay, I'm not going to get in an argument with you, man.
Well, I don't want to.
Well, yeah, you do, but look, here's the deal. Here's the deal.
It looks like you don't have any more.
This guy can't win it.
Any other questions?
He can't win an argument with somebody he wants to do push-ups against. This is a man that challenged, was hoping that he could get in a fist fight with Trump behind a locker room. I mean, guys, I'm not even going to play the rest of this stuff, but this thread, we could be going for another, I don't know, what do we do, 20 minutes? We could easily be going for another 20 minutes right now. Easily be going for another 20 minutes talking about how unfit Joe Biden is visibly to be president. Thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share. Guys, I'm trying to kick this GoFundMe up. We haven't even made $100 yet in the first 4 days in the week. I got bills to pay. I got mouths to feed. I'm doing this 3 to 7 times a day for free. Now, you can also sponsor me over at Rockfin, where you're going to get 5 exclusive videos a week minimum. Right now, we have the Millie Weaver speech from the National File, where she talks about Chelsea Manning and Julian Assange. I may not, believe me, I'm no conservative, I'm no right-left guy, but it's a really interesting take. Plus, you can just join for free and follow me, and I put stuff up here as well. We're streaming there live as well. And every once in a while, I take the premium content and I make it non-premium, some of the exclusive stuff, a week or 2 weeks down the line. So consider me following me. Consider me following me. That sounds a lot. That's Biden-esque right there. Consider following me over there for free. Make a free Rockfin account. And again, make sure you're subscribed. You know, I'd love to hit 40K. That'd be great. But we're doing it with your support. This isn't about right and left politics. The bottom line is they're screwing Bernie Sanders, whether you love him or hate him. It's very obvious. We're going to be doing more videos on this, trying to get Robbie Martin on. Triana Blind, Jason, you were doing great work. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. We expose it from all angles here, so please, 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 please support independent media. Go hit the monthly fundraiser, and I love you guys. I will see you on the flip.